we're coming to you today for a special show right from the Deputy Commissioner's office here in Gurgaon. The reason we're coming to you from here is because flood control orders have been issued in the Millenium city, and the reason that's happened is because if you've been watching TV, since early this morning, never before seen footage has emerged from Gurgaon, from the Millenium city, and also another IT city, that's Bengaluru. Both places we've seen traffic for about 15-20 kilometers long. That's been reported from Gurgaon. From Bengaluru, you would never imagine that people were seen catching fish, and it looked like it was an open river there on the main road. So just what happened there? We are here, as I said, from the Deputy Commissioner's office. We're joined by the officials who are telling me that they made some crucial mistakes. They're being very, very honest. They're telling us they made some crucial mistakes. We'll be speaking to them in just a bit about what those mistakes were and how we can avoid them in the future. We also have two very prominent Gurgaon residents. We have Atul Vasan, former cricketer, and we also have ad man and author Shapun Seth joining us. We'll be speaking to them in just a bit about their experiences. First, let's just see exactly what happened in the city and how people suffered. One person was out all night, stuck in traffic all night. He left work, got home at 6 a.m. Take a look.
A few hours of rain and Gurgaon's worst nightmare, waterlogging and traffic jams are back. Never-ending construction, narrowing down main roads. Frustrated, people ditching their cars, choosing to wade through water. The Gurgaon police immediately asked commuters from Delhi to stay away. Schools also ordered to stay shut, but it was too late.
First time you're coming to Gurgaon?
Yeah, this is the first time.
And did you expect this? What's happening?
Oh, I had a different image altogether of Gurgaon, but that image is now shattering away.
आज मुझे शर्म आ रही है कि मैं मिलेनियम सिटी में रह रहा हूँ.
सिर्फ नाम ही बदला गया है, उसमें ऐसा कुछ इम्प्रूवमेंट नहीं है. सिचुएशन देखिए, अभी आज सुबह से ही पुलिस वाले लोग दिख रहे हैं रोड पे आपको, अदरवाइज कल से तो काफ़ी डिफिकल्ट सिचुएशंस था लोगों के लिए.
Even the sight of the Commissioner of Gurgaon Police in person manning crossings brought no relief.
सभी स्ट्रेटजीज बनाई गई थी, इसीलिए ट्रैफिक इस समय चल पा रहा है.
The Haryana Chief Minister, who was at the receiving end of people's ire, was forced to call off his Gurgaon visit due to bad weather in Chandigarh. But indirectly, he blamed the Delhi government's non-cooperation after he retweeted this. Kejriwal's deputy immediately hit back. As the chaos showed no signs of letting up, Union Minister Venkaiah Naidu spoke to the Haryana Chief Minister. Nitin Gadkari also directed India's Highway Authority to rush in a team to help clear the Gurgaon jams. But a hero in the midst of the chaos. 36-year-old Abdul, who drives a cycle rickshaw, clears water below the Huda City Centre metro station.
अब्दुल, कब से कर रहे हो ये?
10-15 मिनट हुआ.
अच्छा, क्यों कर रहे हो?
ऐसे ही आदमी भला के लिए.
लोगों के भले के लिए. किसी ने कुछ बोला नहीं आपको करने के लिए?
कोई नहीं बोला.
It's 8 in the evening and traffic on the Delhi-Gurgaon highway has eased up as commuters are getting back from work after an entire day of braving the crawling traffic. In Gurgaon, with Rashmi Maan, Sharad Sharma and Parimal Sinha, this is Shatuta Lahiri, NDTV.
Okay, so those pictures, they're telling a very, very grim story about the Millenium city. So here we have with us T.L. Satyaprakash. We also have Amit Chatri, both officials in charge of this area. They say that they've, not slept a wink, but what is it that you were saying, the crucial mistakes that you've made over the last 24 hours, which led to this?
While our performance has been better in 75% of the city, there were a couple of blunders we did on Hero Honda Chowk. if you see last 1.5 months, there was not even a single drop of water on Hero Honda Chowk. But there is a cluster of reasons why the entire thing occurred so dramatically. Yesterday in airport till 3:30 there was taxi driver strike, and suddenly it was they called off, and all these people who were stuck there all through the day, they entered en masse. And second was, it was unprecedented rain, and there was heavy rainfall in the fringe areas of Gurgaon like Chhatarpur, like
just to tell our viewers, I think the Met Department, even though you don't have a Met collecting office here, but at the Delhi border, Delhi-Gurgaon border, the figures say it was 5 times the usual amount of rainfall.
Correct. That is what, because the if you see the gradient, it's a very steep gradient, 313 meters in Delhi, in Ghata area, which is the next adjacent to it, it is 234, and almost 26 square kilometers, a huge amount of water.
So you expected the flooding to happen near Hero Honda Chowk, and what happened?
Then we started pumping out, because we had large 6 pumps we had located at various places. We started pumping more, and because the water exceeded its capacity, it breached. Otherwise we should have taken a calibrated approach. Then between 11 and 3 we could plug it. Otherwise almost quarter of the city would have drowned, and all my team was there at 3:30 or so till 3:30, and we are happy that we could.
City could have drowned.
In only small part, particularly 25% of the city. Then if you see the 75% of the city, it was absolutely okay. Old Gurgaon, it was okay, and Palam Vihar, it was okay. If you see the golf course road and West End, etc.
I must appreciate you being really honest, but we have some really concerned citizens. Atul Vasan, you're hearing what the Deputy Commissioner is being very candid in what he's saying. How would you respond to that? And can you just tell us some of the experiences that you heard people like you or other residents went through?
I mean, we've got used to it, and we saw it coming. Over the years, it's getting worse, and I'm surprised that why is everybody shocked, because this happens every year. And I will not talk about the micros, and the gentleman has been very candid, and I appreciate that. And these certain areas I will not talk. I'll say about the macro situation. I mean, this is a total lack of forecasting, by the town planners, by our development ministers who go on these foreign jaunts on study trips with their lackeys. All they do is shop and gallivant and come back, and they don't implement nothing. And by the time they develop a township, by the time it's ready, it's already saturated. So where is the forecasting? Indians are known to be smart people. So I will not lay the blame in the incumbent government's door. It's been happening for the past few decades. And KMP Expressway, let's say Kundli, which is supposed to take all the vehicles which pass through your national capital region, millions of vehicles with your diesel and everything. It's been 5-6 years delayed, so at the cost of freedom and democracy, where litigations are so easy to drag, this is what is expected. This is going to happen. Either you take the western route where you are compensated enough and people don't actually drag their feet and they're compensated, or you take the China route where you run short over anybody's rights against nation's concern, and then you do what you have to do. That's why you succeed. In India's model, look around you, and you've got to be ready to live with this. We can't go away, we can't run away. We got to live here, so you just got to lump it.
So let me just take it to them. So people are frustrated. I know that you're giving a very specific instance of what happened last night, and 5 times rain, but people are saying that it happens every time.
No, if you see last year where we created Niagara Falls in Gurgaon, this year has been a definite improvement. But the solutions are digital. Once again, it's 0 or 1. I cannot say that, look, I solved 75% of the problem. So whoever suffered, we sincerely regret, and we have taken this as an opportunity to reposition ourselves. Even now, if it starts raining, and if it rains double the amount as yesterday, you are not going to face problem, because we have identified couple of very important weaknesses in our the problems, and we have resolved it.
You've resolved it?
Yeah.
No, how?
This Hero Honda Chowk is a joke. It's been going on for last so many years.
Dhanwapur, which is a sink for all this water. We have connected it, the load to the STP of Dhanwapur, and we have put up extra pumps there, and also that We will put up also, today early in the morning we started Twitter, because it was a conscious decision to not to have Twitter account, because if at all you...
Oh, you've just started a Twitter?
Just today we started. We will inform you every time. We have created platforms, we will connect, and there is a complete army of people who will take your calls, and our control room has been working fine.
Okay.
And we promise you that this will not repeat.
You're promising. We'll also speak to Shopan Seth in just a bit, but you know, as bad as the problems were, it is possible, it's debatable when things were as bad in Bengaluru as well. Maya, it really seems to be two major metros are totally failing. What are people saying over there with you?
Well, here in Bengaluru, it was a day that people will remember for a long time. Behind me, the waters of a storm drain that have subsided after it was cleared, but these gushing waters were flowing well over the level of the storm drain cover on which I'm standing, right onto the main road, blocking traffic, people wading through it, people even catching fish right where we are standing now. And it's really sad the way the administration seems to be taken by surprise every year when the monsoon comes. Now, these are the people living here. They are the ones most affected. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇದೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
ನಮ್ಮ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ
ಯಾವ ತರ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ನಿಮಗೆ?
ನಮ್ ನೀರು ತುಂಬಿಟ್ಟು ಆಚೆ ಹೋಗಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಬರಂಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಕುಡಿಯಕ್ಕೆ ನೀರಿಲ್ಲ, ಕುಡಿಯೋ ನೀರಿಲ್ಲ.
So water actually entered her house. So this water, this rather dubious storm water actually entered her house. So ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮ್ಯಾನೇಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ?
ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆಯಿಂದ ನಾವು ಆಚೆನೇ ಹೋಗಿಲ್ಲ, ಒಳಗಡೆನೇ ಇದೀವಿ. ಊಟ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನೀರಿಲ್ಲ.
They stayed inside the house all day because just now the water's gone down. They were not able to actually ನಿಮಗೆ ಯಾವ ತರ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗ್ತದೆ?
ಇಲ್ಲ, ತೊಂದರೆ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ, ಜನಗಳಿಗೆಲ್ಲ. ಫುಲ್ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಷನ್ ಅವರು ಮೋರೆಲ್ಲ ತೆಗ್ದವ್ರೆ, ನೀರು ರೋಡಿಂದ ಬಂದಿದೆ, ಓಡಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ.
ಕರೆಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಮನೆ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನೀರಿಲ್ಲ, ಕುಡಿಯಕ್ಕೆ ಊಟನೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ.
So difficult for the children, he is saying. There was no water, and also difficult for actually drinking water because they had water running right outside their houses. Right where we are standing now, there was water at this level, up to a level of about 1 foot, gushing water. This is actually where people were catching fish, and we can bring you a glimpse of this day, this strange day in Bengaluru, which began with traffic jams and floods, fish, and at this point a little while ago there's actually a snake when I was reporting here. It's a day that Bengaluru won't forget in a hurry. Let's take a look. This is India's IT capital. Roads have turned into rivers. And here, on one of the city's main ring roads, people fishing. And snakes in the flood water. People actually trying to catch fish on a busy ring road in the center of the city. This is the BTM ring road. This water is overflowing from a lake some kilometers away. It is the encroachment of lakes and the buildings on lake beds around the city that is largely responsible for this mess, as the rainwater has nowhere to go. In the morning, the situation was so bad, the fire department and the NDRF had to use boats to rescue stranded people.
Excess water should go through the Rajkalwe. But unfortunately, people have constructed the houses on the Rajkalwe, so the water is entering into their house.
The administration, like each year, seemingly caught by surprise by the arrival of the monsoon. 800 crores allotted for the building of stormwater drains, still not utilized. People will say administration has collapsed. It is a failure of the BBMP.
Sorry, madam, ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಾವು ಏನು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ ವಾಟರ್ ಡ್ರೈನ್ಸ್ಗೆ ನಾವು
800 crores allotted for stormwater drains. That work not yet finished. It's in the process. Tenders are being called for. Work is being done. Another fallout of the rain. This something residents are more familiar with. Traffic jams. All over the city, main roads were clogged with traffic, in jams that lasted hours. It took us 1.5 hours to travel 3 kilometers. This is the BTM ring road in the south of Bengaluru, and my camera person Govind will just show you what's happening on the road behind us and around us. Now, this road is an arterial road, a busy road. We're actually trying to get to the silk board where a man is actually called saying he is trapped in his house. But getting anywhere in Bengaluru, not that easy. Yesh gante aaytu?
ಒಂದು 1 hour ಆಯ್ತು.
1 hour. Yellinda barake?
MG road ಇಂದ.
MG road inda. Okay. So it's taken him 1 hour to come from MG road, which is a distance of maybe 5 kilometers from where we are. It was a day that the city of Bengaluru will not forget in a hurry. This kind of river is the result. And this, of course, is right next to a very, very busy road. Vehicles actually driving along the edge of that water, splashing along the edge of that water. This is a very busy arterial road that links areas like Jainagar and JP Nagar with Hosu Road where electronics city is, where thousands of techies actually work every day. But for now, this is a river, a new river created in Bengaluru by one night of rain and by an administration that does not seem able to cope. With Govind Murthy, Maya Sharma in Bengaluru for NDTV.
So it's a bit tough to tell what's worse, Bangalore or Gurgaon. Shopan said, you've been looking at all the pictures and the state of Gurgaon, you would have heard what the officials are saying as well. Do you accept what they're saying? Do you trust it when they say that things are going to be better now?
But you can't blame these guys. These are all, well-meaning guys, these bureaucrats and these municipal chaps. I think, yesterday you saw political maturity on American television. And I was thinking that you contrast that with the complete political immaturity and posturing that this country is all about. So I'm told that Kejriwal is being blamed by Qatar is being blamed by Kejriwal, all of that. But I totally agree with Atul. I mean, what's new? What do you expect? And why are you doing a program on just Gurgaon and Bangalore? This happens in Bombay, this happens in Calcutta, this happens in this entire country because there is no one who's actually concerned. So I'm just thinking about, you're paying this Swachh Bharat cess nonsense or whatever you're paying. Where is that money going? People are blaming DLF. What does DLF got to do with the mess that Gurgaon is? DLF is not running the government, they're a construction company. And so why are people on Twitter saying, oh, it's all DLF's fault? It's not DLF's fault at all. It's just a government that seems to be apathetic, it seems to be disinvolved and absolutely not concerned. And that's really what ruins this country, not just this city, and not just Bangalore. I think the Malay is much deeper.
Okay, so most people are blaming the government and not just bureaucrats because they're saying that it just seems to be the whole system at fault. And what we saw is two governments, the Delhi government and the Haryana government, fighting with each other and saying that Delhi wasn't cooperating. Is there truth to that?
I will tell you, let me tell you the total topography of Gurgaon. On one side we get gushing water, on the other side the water goes slightly slow. My joint commissioner today almost trailed across the water and it was almost 25 kilometers. And we went to Kakrula barrage. We saw out of 11, only 9 are working, 2 are not working, but water is literally not moving. That means to say there is a huge siltation. So when the input should be almost equivalent to the output. There is a huge gushing water, but water is not going out slowly. Let me tell you, whether environment, disaster or health, whatever it is, these are all regional public goods. We cannot say that it belongs to Delhi, it belongs to... Suppose if we get oxygen of Sanjayvan of Delhi, I cannot say that look, it is Delhi. No, it cannot. So come what may, we suffered, and probably had they got it desilted, we would have got better things, and of course we should have interacted with them.
Shapan said, what do you make of, we are having a very diplomatic answer?
It is not diplomatic. Let me appreciate that these are all regional public goods.
Of course, sure. But Shapan said, when we saw on Twitter the Delhi ministers and the Haryana ministers fighting and saying, look, it shouldn't be. One of the things that AAP said was, it is not Gurugram, it's Guru Jam. Or Guru Jam, however you want to say it. So how do you think the politicians handled the entire thing?
I think Twitter's policies, wordsmiths who suddenly come alive during moments of crisis, so Guru Jam and all that is all very well, but I just think too much is being read into actually just too little. I mean, we just don't have our act together anywhere in this country. And I have dealt with the bureaucracy in Haryana and Punjab, and I've dealt with people, albeit very briefly, with people like Dr. Misra. And I can tell you that our bureaucracy and our officials are absolutely first rate. The problem is with the politics at play, and you talk about fighting. Mr. Kejriwal is only fighting. He's fighting with Mr. Modi, he's fighting with Mr. Khattar, he's fighting with his own party. And Delhi is a complete mess. And let me now tell you something. You know, you keep talking about Gurgaon, millennial city, gone amok and gone astray. Let me tell you that the unshared outfit of this entire NCR region is actually Dholapur. You know, and if you saw the traffic that kind of snaked in between Gurgaon and Delhi yesterday, most of the problems actually emerge in Delhi. And you know, they spill over into Gurgaon. Of course, the roads in Gurgaon are completely abysmal, and therefore they get flooded at a few drops. But I think it's a larger urban development issue that we need to address. And you know, one is sick of the fact that Home Ministry is under so-and-so, police is under so-and-so. It's one goddamn country run by one. That's right. You know, one person. I mean, you need to run a country. You can't be running up pockets and boroughs. Yeah? We can't say that Sunetra is in charge of East of Kailash.
I think the officers, Shapon.
Sorry?
Yeah, and the officers here completely agree with that. They said that it shouldn't be regional, but I wanted to just ask you that, you know, especially because you handle the, you know, the civic side of things as well. One of the things that people, as soon, and that's what Shopon was talking about as well, is that people talk about the abysmal quality of roads and the potholes. I know that you're saying that you did pumping and all of that, but a lot of the rain mess is just the terrible state of roads. So when are you fixing that?
See, we have taken cognizance of the multiple potholes that have emerged, especially after these rains, and by Tuesday all of these will be filled up on an urgent basis.
By Tuesday, everything
by
will
this
be.
coming Tuesday.
No, but
There are two ways.
We see bad roads.
One is road and
across
other is
the year.
there is a
I mean,
pothole.
through the year.
So as a temporary solution using brickwork, they will be filled up as a temporary measure. But the full solution may be the recarpeting that will be done after the monsoon season. But this will be made completely motorable, and there will not be any traffic snarls as
But do you agree that Gurgaon should just let go and be a bit more realistic about being called Millennium City?
No,
because
let me
it
tell you.
doesn't seem like a Millennium City.
No, let me tell you what exactly the reality. It started as a south of Delhi address in 1985, and it grew haphazardly of almost 30-35 years. It's very bad on my part to tell that, okay, look, we have got lot of problems on as a inheritance, but we started as a city corporation only in 2008. You should appreciate that processes are evolving. We have got complete engineering setup. We had discussed it with the chief
Only
minister.
in 2008?
No. We are in 2008. The corporation started. Think of Mumbai, which has 150 years of history, Pune, which has 100 years history, Mysore, which has 80 years of history. We are 80 years old, and 75% of the city, even now with the private developers, we are in the process of integrating. City corporation hasn't taken over.
Okay.
It is a paradox. It is an unorthodox city. We are finding out very unorthodox solutions, and please believe us, we are going to turn around this city.
By when?
See, we are here on.
But the good news which I can report, because I drove down from Delhi to Gurgaon, and the traffic is cleared up. So we can tell people watching.
3 o'clock.
I will
tell you Google traffic map, and it was all green or it was going a bit slow, and there was nothing.
Expressway is fine.
Yeah.
Even the 25% that was there.
No, 25% we managed. Okay, look, water came and it receded.
Yeah.
And there was no problem.
Yeah.
Except that in traffic people were caught, and we regret for that. And
Shapon said we're totally out of time, but I want to ask you if there's one thing which you would want from the authorities, the good officers here who have come and admitted the mistakes that were made. What is that one thing you need from them as a Gurgaon resident?
Show the middle finger to our politicians and get down to what you must be doing, because we support you, and from this conversation that I've been hearing, you obviously are competent people caught in a trap. So, you need to sort this out with your superiors, and I'm sure you can, because you have our support. But I'll just say about Golf Course Road. I finally shifted my office out of Golf Course Road.
Yeah.
It was impossible.
Yeah.
The easiest way to get a cardiac is to drive for 10 minutes on Golf Course. You'll be dead.
Yeah, and they're saying that it's all going to be sorted out. You're not giving a time limit, but you're saying it's going to be sorted out really soon.
Short term. I'm not telling you about neither medium term or
Well,
long
thank you
term.
very much for coming and telling us exactly, giving us behind the scenes of exactly what went wrong. And you're saying that this shouldn't be happening anytime in the future.
No, you should understand that there is waterlogging, there is traffic. Waterlogging, we are completely in control. It did not go
Traffic,
wrong.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just traffic which is
I agree that we should make aware people better way, awareness, etc.
Yeah.
And probably our traffic lights could have worked better, and to that extent we concede.
Okay.
But it was equally, bad civic sense people showed, but nevertheless we don't consider it as an excuse. Okay.
Yeah, okay, so basically, hopefully we're signing out here from the DC's office here, with everyone hoping that we don't witness those scenes that we've seen here in the last 24 hours and other major cities as well. As Shapun pointed out, we keep seeing that in various metros. Hopefully the breakdown with monsoon shouldn't happen as much. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.